Okay, for today, we are going to be doing the worksheet called Factoring and Solving Day 4. And it's got more factoring of problems like this that we just practiced. And you go two parentheses. How do you always start this again? X and an X. And then these two numbers have to do what? Multiply to 5, but add 6. Give you 6 when you add them. Okay, so they multiply. 1 times 5 multiplies to 5. Do they add to 6? Yeah, so it worked. Cool. And then you just have to do little mini bite-sized equations. And then solve those. And that is a typical question from start to finish. So, what's different today? I'm going to show you a pattern for factoring this kind. It's a pattern just like 2, 4, 6, what? 8. What's a pattern? Another pattern, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. Those are just patterns. So, see if you can do this. This factors into x and x, which, by the way, listen, is the square root of this one. And then this, the square root of this one, square root of 16, is 4 and negative 4. Actually, it's just 4, sorry. And one of them is positive and one of them is negative. I want you to see what I just did. To factor this, I got x and x. Didn't they always start that way anyway? Yeah. Okay, so that part's easy. So then, to factor this kind where there's only two things, you just need to put the square root of this one, square root of 16, there and there. And then put a plus and a minus. If you caught that pattern, then you should be saying, oh, come on, that's too easy, Mr. Server. It's got to be harder than that. No, it's not. Would you please write down that problem and factor it? I showed you the pattern, so don't say it, write it. Because it's easy to say you know it, but do you really know it? All right, don't say it out loud. I want to have people write this down. Okay, I want to pause while you do this part. This is called with difference of squares. Because that's a perfect square, and that's a perfect square, and a difference means a subtract problem. All right. How many of you think you caught the pattern? Okay. Good. Hold that thought a second. Don't interrupt. Just raise your hand if you have a question. All right. Mr. CV, tell me what you think the answer is. X plus 5, x minus 5. Now, how many of you think that's the right answer? Yeah. You are right that it's the right answer. Okay. Now, what if you needed to know for sure, don't talk, gentlemen, that this is the right answer? How could you be sure? Tell me what to do. Yeah, you do the FOIL thing like this. That times that, that times that. 5x and negative 25. Don't talk, gentlemen, or I will move you. Don't talk, shh, don't talk, anybody, thank you. All right, and then I'm going to be doing that times that, which is the x squared, and that times that, which is the minus 5x. Watch when I put it all together. This and this are opposites. That's what's special about this, is those two cancel, because they're opposites. So it's like you borrowed $5 and then you got $5. One was minus, one was plus, and they cancel out. It's like nothing happened. And there's x squared minus 25. That's what I was supposed to get, and yep, that's what I started with. So you can check yourself. I don't think you're processing how powerful that is. If you're in the middle of the test, look up this way, please. If you're in the middle of the test, then when you are done and you think you're right, all you got to do to know if you're right is multiply it out. It's really, really handy. Don't get kicked out. All right, so this next one is just a little more complicated because I threw in a 25. Otherwise, it's the same. Let me make a nice one that you guys all know. 16. Otherwise, it's the same pattern. But we've never done it exactly like that before. I'm going to pause for a second while you give that one a try. All right, let's see if anybody was smart enough to get this without my help. It still needs an x and an x, but it needs more than that. Yes? You got it. 5x and 5x. Not just one 5, because I got to make a 25. And then finish it. Do you know how to finish it? 4 and what? 4. And then a last thing. There it is. That pattern is a powerful one. That is one of the easy kinds. Like, you're going to go through your test, and this will be your happy place. Really, if you can just remember this, how to do this kind, you'll have like 3 questions in a test that are going to be like, oh, this is that easy kind. Let me just prove it to you. Do you have a question first before I move on?
Could the negative be positive?
Yes, they can, because think about it. This and this are identical except for that. So if I put the minus and the plus first, it won't matter. You can't just have 2 pluses. That wouldn't work. You know what I mean? You have to 1 plus and 1 minus. Doesn't matter which one's which. Yes. Yes, so the only thing for today is things like this. 36x squared minus 144. That's a tricky one, just because 144 is what times what? There you go. So then you're going to get this one. It's easy. Factor it. I'll pause for a second while you give it a try. All right, I'm going to give you one more example that's like that, and I forgot to give the answer on the last one, so I'll put it up on the screen here. That's how that last one turned out. But now, give this one a try. All right, you're saying that it's 10x and 10x, and then one of them's plus 4, minus 4. That is a perfect start. But did anybody notice that there was a chance to factor it further? You did. Did you? All right. What goes into both of those that you could have split up? 2 times 5x and 2 times 2. Why was that smart? Because looky there. There's a 2 in both of them. Did you have that? Excellent. The 2 comes out. You got 5x plus 2. Over here, what did this break up into, Mr. CF? Break this up, just like I just did on the other one. 2 times 5x, and then? Excellent. And then what goes into both of them? 2 does. So it comes out, and what do I have left after I take those guys out? Awesome. That is some serious factoring. That is the hardest of what you could possibly be asked to do today. All right? So that's as hard as it's going to get, and you guys conquered it. Nice job. I'm going to hand out the worksheet, and I want to warn you, Mrs. Nolan and I have been talking about getting more homework put in. This one, because I think, yeah, we're just going to do this one. I'm going to hand this one out right now, and we are going to be grading this one tomorrow for sure. I'm going to pause for a second. We'll hand these out. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Number 1. Would you please, there you go, thank you. Here, take this with you. Look at number 1. Gentlemen, up here, watch me. I'm almost done here. Okay, number 1, would you please read it for me, SF? Nice and loud. All right, this is the kind that does not have that neato pattern. All it has the pattern of is x and x. Then what has to multiply to 15 and add to negative 8? 5 and 3 is the correct answer, but the harder part is, what has the negative on it? The 3 has it, and so does the 5. That's kind of a trick question. They both have negatives. Because that way, you'll have a negative 3x and a negative 5. I don't know if you remember me showing you the evil smiley face before. Okay? And if those 2 together make that one, then you got the evil clown with the pie face eyes. All right. Anyway, if this and this together make that, then it worked. And it worked. Because negative 3 and negative 5 make negative 8. All right. You don't have to make clown faces. My daughter would have nightmares too, so, you don't have to do that. Number 2's got the pattern. Remember me telling you the pattern? A squared minus 4's got the pattern. Who can tell me? Raise your hand when you got it. I want to see how many people remember and have short-term memory. I just showed you this kind. A minus 2 and? A plus 2 is correct. All right, now, number 3 is a nice, easy one. You can do that one later yourself. Let me help you with number 4 because it's got something that we have to break out of it right away because it's got what's called a GCF. 3a squared can't really be broken up, but 30a can be. And what else can get broken up? 72. Now, I'm going to need some of you guys that are good at your multiplying to tell me what do all of these have in them? They all got 3's. So 3a squared plus 3 times what? 3 times what makes 30? 10. And then how do you get a 3 into a 72? You need a calculator maybe. Seriously? I don't even have that one just like right off the top of my head. 3 times 10 would not work. 3 times something. 3 times 15 is 45. That doesn't work. 3 times 22, that might be right. That's 66. It's getting close. Just use a calculator. 3 times 24. That is it, 24. Okay, now what's important, you're going to be moved soon if you keep doing that. Okay, there's a 3 in all of them. So this 3 comes out to the front. And I got a squared plus 10a plus 24. That was a challenging one because you had to get the GCF out. Get this copied down, please. We're on number 4. Stay caught up. Okay, now it can factor like all the others. You use the pattern, which is 2 parentheses with an A and an A. And then what multiplies to and adds to What it multiplies to what? No, it does not multiply to 2. It multiplies to what? No, it does not multiply to 10. It multiplies to what? 24. What multiplies to 24? Ooh, 6 and 4 also makes 10, doesn't it? So then you did it right. There it is. That's factored all the way. Okay. Now, again, some of you guys need to be reminded that this is it. This is where the rubber meets the road. If you screw around on this and just go, I don't get this stuff, and you don't ask and you just give up, that's where you're saying, I can't handle to quadratic right now. I'm going to have to wait till next year. I want you to try to get it now so that you can test out of this at the end and move on to geometry next year. But I know not everybody's going to be ready for that. So do your best. This is the moment right now, like over this next 10 minutes, for example, where you're supposed to work on this stuff and then you get some free time. If you just screw around and talk to your friends, that's saying, I've given up on it for this year. All right. This is a good question. How many should we do off this worksheet? The question is, you're close. We're going to go up through number 12. It only goes a little bit into the second side. Okay. And 9 is never a lucky number, so scratch off number 9. Nah, 6 has got that pattern. It's an easy one. I know it's not lucky, but scratch off 9 only. You can handle it. 10 is kind of nasty because it's got a negative. How about this? I'm going to help you on 10, but we're not skipping it. Look at number 10. Almost, not yet. Negative 2y squared minus 8y plus 120. And here's what I wanted to help you with. I can take out a negative 2 from everything. Negative 2 times what makes 8? That's going to mess up some people. Negative 2 times 4. Yes. That makes negative 8. And then who can do negative 2 times what makes 120? That's what I want to know. 60 is almost right. Negative 60. Now do you get that there's a negative 2 in all 3 of them? So that comes out to the front. And then I have given you the first part. Now from here, this part should, I hope, be easy to factor for you, even though it's got a negative 60 in it. Whew! But You guys are pretty good at this. What multiplies to 60 and also makes a 4? 6 and 6 times what? 6 and what makes 60? Come on, you can do this. 6 and 10. And don't 6 and 10 have a difference of 4? Yay. All right, see if you can do it. All right, that's all I have for you for today.